take some of the first fruits of the harvest to the temple to offer as a sacrifice. In so doing, they were offering God all they had and trusting Him to provide the rest of the harvest. See, the tithe would come after the harvest came in. You know what your harvest is. You take 10% of that and you give it to God. But the first fruits is the very best and the very first. You're giving all that you have, trusting God to bring in all the rest of it. It was at this point that Jesus was buried, planted in the ground, as He said right before His death. He said, unless a seed falls into the ground and dies, it is alone. But if it falls into the ground and dies, it bears much fruit. So Paul refers to Jesus as the first fruits of those raised from the dead in 1 Corinthians. Well, He was the first fruits, but we're in there somewhere. As such, Jesus represents the fulfillment of God's promise to provide the rest of the harvest, resurrection of those who follow the Messiah. Now, resurrection, Christian symbolism of the Passover occurs early in the Seder, which is the Passover dinner. 3 matzahs. Ushers, go ahead and start passing out the communion elements. I told Janet to do this, to find some matzah bread, which we did instead of that pressed styrofoam that we've been using. I mean, it's okay to use it. It's all right, but I don't really know where that stuff comes from. So I know where this comes from. Now, I took a piece of this bread, which you're going to receive, and I didn't mean it to break it ahead of time. It just broke. But you'll see it, and you'll know that this matzah is striped and pierced. And when you look at it, and you look at all the piercings, you see how this represents Jesus. It's unleavened bread, and it's striped. You know, the stripes were laid upon Him, and by His stripes we are healed. And His body was pierced. And so this, to me, is a lot more symbolic than the styrofoam we've been using. I think it's actually bread in those little things. I hope it was. I trust that it was. I'm going to get another one here. So when you get this piece of matzah, the unleavened bread, take a good look at it. And think about how this represents the body of Jesus.